Hello, welcome to QTV's One to One, the platform where meaningful conversation meets real insight. Today's edition, Germany and the Gambia, Partnership in Focus, takes us into the heart of the diplomatic relations between our two nations. We'll explore opportunities, expectations, and the realities of international cooperation, from development support and trade to culture, governance, and the shared global responsibilities. Our guest today is a key figure in shaping that relationship. He is the Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to the Gambia. He is His Excellency Klaus Botzet. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good. You've had a long career spanning Germany, Colombia, the United States. So one wonders how perhaps the experiences you had garnered in these different areas,
Right.
how they've sort of prepared you
Yes.
for the role in this country.
In a diplomatic career, you get, of course, in touch with different cultures, with different mentalities of all sorts. And when it comes to good working relations, you learn that building trust, building confidence with your counterpart is the most essential thing in order to gather information, in order to understand what is going on in your host country. And so I felt well prepared when I came to the Gambia 2.5 years ago in August 2023. Although it was a new experience for me, I haven't been posted to Africa before. And then quickly understood I was very lucky to come to the Gambia. It's such a welcoming country, it's friendly, people are open-minded and accessible. People from all parts of society, from the government, from the economic sector, from just on the street. So yeah, I'm glad to be here.
That's it. I've read somewhere that you value transparency in diplomacy and truthfulness.
That's
I
right.
wonder how these principles guide, as it were, your engagement with the government and the people.
Yes, transparency and truthfulness. In order to gain credibility with what you say, you need to be honest, explain what your the limits of your government are, and what the possibilities are, right? When we talk about extending the cooperation in a certain area, for instance, in the security sector reform, there are of course a lot of needs. And then it comes to the point, what can we do from the German side? What does the Gambia need? I do not win points by making promises I can't keep, right? But important is this credibility to give this message. I'm open to what we can do. I'm telling you what we can do, and I need to hear from you what you really need and what your priorities are. So that's always the conversation we need to have, and we win most from both sides if we have this openness, this transparency.
That's it. And you've mentioned, talking about winning there, you've mentioned somewhere that really a win-win situation is sort of one of the cornerstones of German
The goal
foreign
is
policy.
win-win
Isn't the
situation.
win-win situations? So one wonders, sort of, in practical terms, what can you point to show that principle in operation? Projects that really show that win-win situation.
Look, we win most in trade, in mutual trade. If a country has a stable political situation, if there is security in the country, and then we can have good trade relations and good commercial relations. If there's insecurity, that's not possible. So helping the Gambia, establishing a solid, credible security sector that upholds the democratic norms, that keeps its citizens safe, is very much all in the Gambia's interest as in the German interest. In order to have this lively exchange, this trade, security also for the tourists, we need a good and stable security sector that provides security to all citizens, not just to the government. And that's the big difference that needed to be made from the previous era of the dictatorship, that a community police needed to be established. A police for the people. Police that provide security to the whole country. And I think with our projects we could provide a meaningful contribution to this, and it helps our relations. It helps tourism, it helps our trade relations, it helps the development of the country. So there you go.
That's it. So one wonders though, with all the help, the support you're giving, you've been here since 2023. Are you seeing the desired outcomes?
I see progress. Are we there yet? Do we have reached 100%? Probably not. And this is why I am working now with my authorities in Berlin and in Germany to see what we can do next, right? I cannot yet say what it will be, but it looks quite promising that we can, one way or the other, we will continue our cooperation. We plan to extend the cooperation with the national police, and we plan to extend the cooperation also with the Gambian military that has taken off already quite nicely, and we want to do also more in other sectors like the economy, growing the private sector.
That's it. And particularly with post-2017, you've really been very helpful in the transitional justice on the way. I wonder what you would see as your major milestone in this relationship since then.
Yes, so it started off, of course, with a firework. After 2017, we had a visit of our president, federal president Steinmeier came to the Gambia. He was the first head of state to visit the Gambia and visit President Adama Barrow. And since then we have looked into what our contribution can be to helping grow this young democracy the Gambia had become again. In 2023, the decision was taken to open up an embassy and to transform the subsidiary of the German embassy in Senegal, in Dakar, to a proper embassy to the Gambia. That was more of a formal step, but I then arrived in August 2023 as the first German ambassador with residence to the Gambia. In parallel, a lot of project work continued, and as the country has progressed, I think the growth rates are quite impressive, especially looking at the regional neighborhood. Also, our project cooperation has progressed.
That's it. But I also wonder, though, how does having a permanent presence in this country change the dynamics of cooperation?
I think it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. There is a total different perception. It's not about me, it's about a German ambassador being here in the country, being accessible. We can have a phone call if there is a certain issue. This summer, the National Security Advisor came to me and said, look, we want to participate again in the border cooperation program. You're providing support to neighboring countries. we would like to be part of this. And so very informally, I could help with liaising to our implementing agency, GIZ, which is very known in the
we'll come
country.
to that.
And so now I just opened a workshop only a few days ago where the Gambian Border Police is trained in a lot of techniques, and I am at the Minister of Lands, Honorable Barr, participated, and I'm very happy with this progress, and all that wouldn't be happening, I'm sure, if I wasn't here in the country.
Do you have visa processing services at the embassy here? Or
We're still processing visas in Dakar. So, but what will come, and I'm happy to announce that we're in a year, at the beginning of 2027, we will open a visa application acceptance center where people can hand in their applications, get their biometrics taken, their picture, their fingerprints, and then they can apply from Banjul. They don't need go for the process to Dakar anymore. And then we'll see how it goes, but that will be a big step forward.
So the plan is to have that here?
That's a plan, and this will come.
All right. Just last question on our bilateral relations. The Gambia, we have a significant diaspora in Germany. I think about 17,000 or so.
That's
so
right.
One wonders, do they influence bilateral relations? If how, I wonder.
I think they influence them very much. They are a strong bond because many of them are married to Germans. Very often we have real families there, and most of them, a large majority, are well integrated, contribute well to the communities in Germany, as are supporting family members here in the country. So it's a very significant community, concentrated mostly in the southwest of Germany. And I think that has created a special bond between both countries. So I see a lot of interest also from German NGOs who come to the Gambia because of these personal relations.
That's it, and I must touch the subject because they've been talking about it. The idea of the deportations. You know the climate in this country.
Yes.
A lot of people want to go out, but you do have there obviously a population who are perhaps what they call irregular, without the right documents. So how are you dealing with that, balancing your right to remove them and their rights as human beings, as it were?
Yes, so human rights will always be respected. But the law is very clear in Germany. Those who cannot sustain themselves with their own means, who are not in employment, or who have a criminal record, have to leave the country. In that sense, Germany is not different from any other country in the world, also not from the Gambia. But we support every returnee when he arrives here. The EU does that with their projects, and we still have a German project that provides technical support, training. It supports if they want to start a business of their own, they get support. The last course was about becoming electricians and installed solar panels, all kinds of business, so they are not left alone. But I want to say one thing. Many often these returnees, as we like to call them, are under psychological stress. And this is because of so much pressure that's coming from their families. And I really would like to appeal of the families of the returnees to welcome them with open arms and give them support. They deserve a second chance. They shouldn't be seen as a failure. They did not succeed in Germany, but they have the right to start a new life here, get a new chance, And for that, they need their family's support and their friends' support, and then they can succeed. They get a lot of support from us and the European Union. And by the way, returning voluntarily is worth it. They get much more financial means, twice as much, as opposed to being part of a forced return.
That's it. So when they return, do you monitor sort of how successfully they're reintegrating? Have there been any?
We have some incidental knowledge about how they're doing in the training courses, and I think it's better than nothing. In the end, it depends on them how business-oriented they are. I don't have any complete statistics.
All right. Now we move on to trade, economic cooperation and development. Talking about trade, you mentioned earlier, the figure I have here in 2024, German exports of goods to the Gambia were valued at 20.6 million euros, while Gambia's Germany's imports from the Gambia valued at 0.5 million euros. The trade is a bit one way, isn't it? Are there any plans, as it were, maybe to improve?
Think what you're right. The numbers are as they are, and what it shows actually is that industrial production needs to start in the Gambia of a lot of things. I think there are encouraging young companies, small companies who've started here, whom I've met in agriculture, for instance. Cashew nuts are a prime product, excellent quality, and other agriculture products that can be exported much more as a refined finished product. It's so far the Gambia just produces the raw material, and then it gets bought by intermediaries, it goes to Asia and places, and then it ends up on the shelves in European stores. The Gambia loses a lot of money on the way.
So there's the value added.
The value added could be here, right? And now I have, for instance, a German young entrepreneur who wants to get into this, and I see more companies getting into this. The same in manufacturing. The Gambia workers are talented, they're good, and much more things can be produced here. There is this wonderful young woman that produces high quality handbags, leather handbags. She is a returnee from Norway. She learned the skills abroad and has started a production here, is now employing 7 people and sells her handbags worldwide. Much more of that needs to come, and we identified the lack of capital as a impediment to more production by small and medium-sized companies. So this is something we want to address, and in particular harness also the capital that is flowing back to the Gambia from abroad, the remittances.
The remittances.
So that's an exciting new project that will come to the Gambia next year, and Senegal. It's already doing well in Ghana and Cameroon. So basically the idea is for every dalasi or US dollar or euro that a returnee invests in the Gambian economy, this in a business, in a profitable business, he can apply and get a topping up to 100%. So imagine he puts 10,000 euros in a business to produce something, or a service company, whatever it is. Another 10,000 would be given as a grant to develop the business. So that will be a very significant contribution to grow the private sector in the country, we believe.
Absolutely. And I wonder, any other exciting plans in the...
Oh, that's already a very exciting one, but another exciting one is a project that's all running for a while with the credit sector as well, with the credit unions. It's managed by the German Foundation of German Credit Unions, and it's about helping the Gambian credit unions to become lenders for small and medium-sized enterprises. There are already some steps made. An academy has been founded to train the staff of the credit unions and to get them more and more into this credit business for small and medium-sized enterprises. It fills a gap, an important gap, so also that is very exciting, and you'll hear more from it.
Yes, but I wonder, any ideas about how perhaps Gambia can increase its exports to Germany, for instance?
The governments should never try to tell the private sector what to do. So we need to see what comes up. I would have never thought of production of leather handbags, but with the right entrepreneurial spirit, the right design, good handicraft, it's a working business. And so it must grow from the grassroots. Training young people, and everybody who's willing to be trained is an important part of that. So we have also a number of government-supported NGOs working in that sector. And this helps everybody. This helps the people who get the jobs. This helps the companies, and this helps ultimately the country and the government, because these companies generate income.
That's it. Now let's go to security, rule of law, and the like. The EU GIZ project is quite, but everybody knows about that by now, helping the police. What can you tell us about that? What has been the impact of this on Gambia's security?
So the first goal is really to transform the police into a community police that provides security to the communities in which they are based. In particular, protecting women against sexual and gender-based violence is an important part of that, and I think a lot of progress has been made in this area. The police has been strengthened in all 5 branches, from administration to traffic police. The police investigation unit has been much better equipped and trained with this equipment. And other branches, criminal investigation and so forth. And in some individual cases, I think we see much better police work now, right? I remember when I arrived in August 2023, there was basically no traffic police regulating the traffic. Now we have them, and they're visible, and they are well equipped, and that's an example everybody can see, and it goes on in the other areas as well. And I hope we will continue this cooperation in this area.
Yes, and you've been helping in the SSR, the security sector reform.
Right.
So one wonders the progress of this. How would you assess the progress of this security sector reform?
I think there is a lot of progress. Now, if you think of transitional justice and dealing with the crimes of the era of the dictatorship, there has now been an important step forward with the creation of the position of a special prosecutor. It's now about equipping his office with sufficient staff. But then I think the world is really waiting for the step of the Gambia to start prosecutions against perpetrators here in the country. Of course, you start at the bottom, at those who really committed the crimes directly, and then you work your way up. But the Gambia is doing well. I commend the Attorney General for the work he's doing. It's really impressive. And we're looking at it, and when asked, we will try to help.
That's it. I wonder how important are these prosecutions? Really, these Jammeh-era prosecutions, how important are they?
Look, I come from a country, Germany. Let me talk about my country in this context. We had this experience twice. After World War II, prosecution of the Nazi crimes, and then after the fall of the wall, prosecution of crimes, serious crimes against perpetrators under the communist dictatorship in East Germany. And these prosecutions were very important to come to a close, to reach healing from the victims and of the society, and they are proof that these crimes do not go unpunished. And that's what a society needs, that justice is delivered. And I think that the Gambia is already quite advanced for the fact that it's only 8 years, which is, in comparison to other countries, and my own included, quick. But now it should start, right? And I think the right steps have now been taken, and we're looking at supporting them.
Absolutely. I wonder in this relationship, finally, and then afterwards you can send one message, to people of the Gambia. I wonder what Germany is getting from this relationship with the Gambia.
First of all, what I notice is there is an affinity towards the Gambia. Germans love the Gambia. And they like to travel here. There are many private initiatives of people who want to start a kindergarten or a school or provide medical assistance. I just visited a wonderful clinic that's doing great work in Serukunda here in town, the ASB clinic, and they are doing 1,000 surgeries per year. They do it because they really want to help the country to advance, and they want to help the poor in this country. We're not interested in exploiting resources or anything. That's not our thing. We want to help the country to develop in order to have a good partner in trade and in political relations. And we're working very well together in political relations, especially in the multilateral field, in the United Nations, protecting the interest of small countries against big neighbors is a joint interest of both countries. Thinking, for instance, of the war of Russia against Ukraine, that's illegal, that's against the Charter of the United Nations. It's a crime under international law. And also human rights. The Gambia is a great partner to Germany in defending human rights internationally. We're a major donor to the United Nations because we believe in the international order we have. We want to strengthen it. And the Gambia is a great partner there. So that's a relationship we want to continue and to expand, and we're looking forward to working further with you.
Thank you very much, His Excellency Klaus Botz, the Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to the Gambia. Thank you very much, viewers, for joining us on One to One. Until next time, I'm Mamadou Mbodj. Goodbye.